When you're using VS Code's remote extensions to connect to a remote workspace, you can configure settings that only apply to the remote machine. This works for SSH workspaces, those in WSL, and even those in dev containers, and you can configure pretty much any setting on a machine level rather than on a user or workspace level. Let's actually take a look at this in this SSH workspace. So here, my current workspace is actually connected over SSH to my local host, and that's just for demonstration purposes. If I then go and open up my settings, so Control Comma or Command Comma on Mac, you can see that I have my normal user settings, so those are ones that are going to apply to all of VS Code, my normal workspace settings here, so those are ones that are going to apply just to my current project, and then I have this new tab that's actually showing up, and that is the remote settings tab. So these are settings that only apply to the remote machine. They are different than the workspace settings in that they are independent of the actual workspace you're opening up. So any workspace that I open on SSH localhost are going to have these remote settings applied to them. Now, some common use cases of these remote settings is one is to make the remote machine windows more distinct. So I could go and change something like the color theme. So in here, let's just go and change the color theme. I'll go and set this to something like, let's do Monakai here. And now again, any folder that I open on this remote machine is going to have the Monakai theme applied. Any local folders that I open are going to use my default theme. So here I'm going to open up the TypeScript project. And this is just a folder on my actual local machine, so it's using my default theme, which is Dark Plus. So again, these remote settings are not going to apply to it. Now, another common use case of these remote settings is to actually customize the behavior for remote situations. So if you're working with an SSH host, you might want to turn on things like autosave to make sure that if the connection drops, for example, that you have automatically been saving the file in the background. You can either turn on or turn off other features as well, just based on whatever you feel is best for that machine. And again, these settings will apply to any project that you actually open on that remote machine. I find that they're especially helpful with the WSL and SSH extensions, but you can also use them with the dev containers extension as well. So that's a quick look at how you can configure any of VS Code's settings on a per machine basis when working with VS Code's remote extensions.